Introducing NewTribe Capital and how we got over 100 million of assets under management.
I would like to introduce to the stage Dhaval Parikh, partner at NewTribe Capital.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to begin by thanking AIBC for providing such a great opportunity to NewTribe Capital and also such a great event. Thank you so much, guys, for attending. I wanted to give you guys a bit of a breakdown and also a background about NewTribe Capital. At NewTribe Capital, we have been investing since 2019. Who are we? We started the journey as 4 entrepreneurs who wanted to make a future through technology. Since the move of 2009, where the Bitcoin was launched, I personally feel around that time, we feel like the whole chain from the theoretical to the real world use case, it became no longer a theory, it was a real world use case as such. And I personally feel like all the organization is trying to test out this method, and same as for NewTribe Capital as well, we want to be part of it. At NewTribe Capital, we have been investing in different early stage, late stage, and the new projects that are in the blockchain space, which are emerging in all the different sectors as such. Our tagline, which is investing in people, we really, really believe into it, and we really feel like the projects that we are coming up and we are investing in, they are making a lot of impact within this particular space, which I'll go through it in a second. Our ideology, which is investing in people, we really believe into it. There are 3 core principles that NewTribe Capital is built on. One is we believe in innovators or innovations. Second one is about the relationship building, and the third one is team spirit. Let me elaborate a little bit on that. We are in a business of investing in the innovators. We have a very optimistic view in terms of who are the innovators that we have invested in. Regardless they succeed or fail, we really think we are making a change in this particular industry. From the relationship angle, it's quite critical. It's not just deals and transactions that we are investing in. We are investing in people. We are investing in future growth, which will lead to mutual growth and development from both the perspective from a project and from the VC side as well. And the last one is the team spirit, which we like to say we are all in this together. It's quite important and critical as such. I was reading a book from a Harvard business professor a couple of days back, and he mentioned that 65% of the projects or the startup, they will fail due to the conflict between the founders themselves. It's important to have that team dynamics in place. It's also very important, and that's what our fund partners and we all have the same vision and strategy to make the NewTribe Capital a bigger place and a better place for all the investors plus the VC funds out there. So essentially, where exactly we are trying to go from here, from the investment point of view. I wanted to give you a bit of a glimpse on that as well. So investment strategy in this particular from NewTribe Capital perspective, we have invested in early stage, late stage, we have invested in the equity, we have invested in nodes, mining, validators, essentially all the different sectors out there. We are quite bullish into the infrastructure ecosystem projects as well. How do we find these early stage projects? And I wanted to give a bit of a glimpse on that part. Quality is definitely important for us. Alongside the quality, what we are looking for is how good is the project commercially viable, and from a technical point of view as well. We align our strategic goals and visions every single quarter to our long-term strategy as well. So what I mean with that is last quarter, we invested quite heavily within the metaverse, gaming, NFT sector. And we wanted to be a part of the market conditions, which is which was in the hype and in the as part of the semi-bull run that we noticed. And we picked up quite early stage good projects like Sidus and Splinterlands during that phase. Going forward, in the next quarter, we have shifted our focus completely. We are now going forward with ecosystem projects, infrastructure, layer 1, layer 0, ZK Sync. It's quite complicated technology, but we really love it. Like, the guys or the projects that are coming up with different sort of use cases on that ecosystem, it's amazing. From gaming perspective, we have actually shifted it to 20% of our portfolio. What we are noticing more and more nowadays is like, gaming from a P2E or the play to earn sector, it's more on the earning side. What we are looking for in the projects is like, gamers needs to have fun while they are actually playing. That's the theory we are going for. And what I essentially mean with that is like, projects which are coming up with a platform, some sort of a gaming engine, and that will actually assist a project to uplift and also help out the developers with a plug and play sort of a API. Those sort of a projects we are still like, going and like, keeping it as part of our portfolio. Investment strategy is quite important in not just analyzing, investing, or finding the new projects. It's also quite important for managing the portfolio as well once you have invested. There are quite a few rookie mistakes or the crypto mistakes for new investors who are coming in this market that we have noticed. So I wanted to touch base on that as well. So one of them is going all in. What I mean with that is some of the investors, they will fall in love with the ecosystem or they might fall in love with a token. But for us, diversifying the asset is quite critical. We need to ensure that the projects that we are investing in, they are across the different sectors within the crypto sphere. The second one that we see is like, buying the token just because the price is low. The price of the token is low because of a certain reason behind it. Finding out the reason is quite important. It could be because of the liquidity. It could be because of the news from the marketing point of view. So it is important to see what are the reasons before just aping in the project as well. Along with all these points, I would like to highlight the few critical things like, which is supposed to be part of the do your own research, right? What for us, especially like, when we are analyzing and investing in a project, we want to see what is the narrative, what is the synopsis of the project, what are they trying to solve in a real world. Second is more on the terms of go-to-market strategy. The go-to-market strategy needs to align, and from a user adoption point of view, they need to have a strong marketing commitment towards the community as well. What we look for is also the tokenomics. Need to do a deep dive into it to ensure that it's not just a cash grab opportunity for any of the other projects out there. We look at every single buckets and ensure that like, they are following their economics behind the tokenomics as such, which I'll go into it in the next slide as well. For us, the other few critical things from a strategy point of view, and when we look at the project and it matters, is also understanding the backers and partners. It's to see like what are the value add that they're going to bring to the project, ensuring that the socials are aligned. What I mean with that is like, there is enough visibility out there for the project from the marketing side of it, regardless it's on the LinkedIn, it's on socials like Twitter, Instagram as such, but like, having that sort of a visibility definitely helps. So all in all, this is like a recipe for success, and ensuring that this information will actually help a project as well to succeed in the future run from a roadmap point of view. Just exactly just to echo what I mentioned in the previous slide, these are the different projects in our portfolio that we have invested in the last few months, which is across the different sectors like metaverse, gaming, NFT, data privacy. We are not just, once the investment is one part of it. Once the project has been launched, there is quite a few strategic things that we align with the projects and to ensure that they do meet their roadmap. So from a strategic partnership point of view, we try and figure out who are their competitors in the market. The competitors could be partners in the future. These partners can potentially help them align and bring the visibility from future development perspective. It can be from the partnership perspective. And we are quite, blessed to actually have some of these projects in our portfolio as well. I would like to spend a couple of minutes on this slide because it's very important. These are the elements of success that we look at when we advise or invest in a project. So some at times when the project team comes to us, they only have an idea or just a really basic product information that they would like to bring to the blockchain space as such. In such certain scenarios, which is more on the incubation side of the things, but in those sort of scenarios, what we do is help them out with the pitch deck, ensure that they have the white paper, technical research, and everything to back them up before they go out in the market. Now, from the pitch deck as well, we are connected very well with the leading marketing agencies out there. We want to make sure that the pitch is cutting edge design, which matches the current market conditions as well. Before they go out to the VCs. The next is the resourcing and recruitment. Now, this is also important before doing a fundraise for a project, right? Recruitment is important because these are early stage projects. They might not have key people as part of the team like CMOs or CTOs. We want to ensure that the right team members are there, which meets the budget and the resourcing requirements for the project as such. And we are connected to the to the team as also in different geographical region. Legal support is a critical item where we want to make sure that the team has got BVI, entity, jurisdiction, SEFT, everything is in place. Sometimes the exchanges are going to ask for the token memo, right? All this information we can actually assist the projects as part of our support. Tokenomics, as I was mentioning earlier, we look at the economics behind the tokenomics. So we want to go into the details of budget, cash flow reserve, income and expenses. We want to understand how their burn rate is going to look like over the next 2 years. This is going to help us see how much fundraise exactly is required for the project. How do we want to come to a point where the right token buckets are going to be created as part of the smart contract as well? And essentially, the tokenomics should align again to the market conditions. And that is where our on-market research team, they will be helping us out as well. Competitor review is very important because this is something we do as part of canvassing the whole feedback that the project requires, which is SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. We want to understand the market cap that the project could potentially achieve once we launch the project. And that market cap is not just in regards to finding out that they are their competitors. They could be potential partners as well in the future. Understanding the market making is one of the most important thing, but at times the projects, they would be forgetting it, and we have seen it quite often. Market makers, we are connected to all the leading market makers out there in the crypto space. Although all the market makers have got their own speciality in their way. What I mean is some of them might be providing only the centralized exchange or decentralized exchange market making, volume generation, liquidity, sniper bot protection, or even the sandwich protection. These are the main critical items that needs to be looked at before launching any of the projects. And we assist the project in all these directions as well. Going forward, launchpads, centralized exchange, giving the guidance, we are connected to all the tier 1, tier 2, the biggest launchpads and the exchanges out there. The way we differentiate ourselves as a VC from the other funds is because we know the ins and out. What I mean is how long the application process is going to take, what is going to be the mandate, what are the ecosystem the project is connected with. If they are launching on Solana, we might know who are the right partners for the project instead of supporting any other launchpads out there. So, and from the exchanges point of view as well, right? Some of the exchanges, they might take 6 to 8 weeks. Some takes around 2 to 3 weeks. Ensuring that we go at the right time in this market, it's quite critical. Auditing is something which from the compliance point of view, it is important, it's mandatory, and some of the exchanges will require that. And again, we are connected to most of the biggest auditors out there in the industry as well. KYC, KYB support, this is something that the exchanges might require. And also it's good for the project to know who are their investors. So especially if they are coming from countries where crypto is particularly banned. So helping that on that part. KOL and influencers is another the most important thing as part of the launch. That's where our fund partner, Victor, he has this, and he's a marketing manager, and he has this whole amazing 200 plus KOL army. We take pride, like, getting the projects the right KOL as per their budget and requirement. So, and these KOLs we have got it segregated between low end, medium end, and high end. So all the support they need from the visibility side, we will be providing that as part of the launch. PR, publication, and strategic partnership, the very, very important part from a marketing side of the things. The PR is something critical, and we have a Cointelegraph writer as part of our team as well, who would be able to bring the visibility for the project in preparation for the launch, not just pre-launch, but also post-launch as well. We want to keep on hammering the whole market out there to ensure that the right information, the utility, the project information is being mentioned. And going forward, the launch is one part of it, right? Like, the project will be requiring a lot of support post-launch, and that is where we specialize as well. We have got 300 plus projects as part of our portfolio. If the project team requires help to get collaborated with any of these projects, that is one of our value add, and we'll be providing it to all the projects that we invest in. This is on a very high level, the performance of the projects that we have invested in last few months. As I mentioned before, we have invested quite heavily in the last quarter within the GameFi Launchpad and the metaverse side of the things. And we are still working with all these projects as we speak right now from the strategic angles as well. And we will be actually coming up with quite a few announcements with these projects going forward. Right. These are the projects which we are really bullish on and we have invested recently. First one is Taurus, which is getting, well, it's already rebranded as Web3 authentication. The project of such a caliber, it already has got a real world use case. It has got it already is performing in a way the revenue is being generated. Now it's part, like, they are bringing the product in the blockchain space. And for a project of such a caliber, we think that the right team has been appointed for that. Fluid Finance is bringing innovation within the DeFi space. Matterless is more on the AR or VR side of the technology. We believe that it's going to change how we see the AR side of the gaming as well. Rainfall is the first project on the Casper ecosystem. They have a really good technical team backing them up. Recordship and Coride, they are in the music industry and being backed already by great partners like KuCoin and Dapper Labs. We got Cross the Ages. You guys have already got the glimpse of the creativity and the excellence the guys they bring to the project. Space Misfit, they are backed by Animoca. We love the game. And same for DeFi Portal, Mintrest, and Arjuna. They are one of the projects they are already bringing a lot of changes as part of the ecosystem. It's more of on the infrastructure side, and hence we really like their roadmap. Perfect. Right. So I'm leading the NewTribe Capital more from an investment and analysis point of view. We got Juliet, who is part of the team. She's a fund partner as well. She manages the relationship side. So bringing the visibility within the conferences, events, having the relationship with all the exchanges, launchpads out there, all the VCs. That's what she specializes in. She is one of the most known or well-renowned person in the crypto space as well. Victor, as I mentioned, he leads our marketing team and he is brilliant with his KOL strategy. We love working with him on all the projects too. From the strategic partnership perspective, PR, publications, that's what he specializes in. And we got Prashant as well. As we are expanding rapidly, we want to make sure that we are ready for the success. We are actually, we have the right infrastructure in place from the technology side of the things, and Prashant is helping us out there. That's it, guys. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for listening.